vegan, a teacher. You know, people find her a bit controversial. I think she's really cool grandmother. I'll actually after got to speak out against systemic discrimination of animals, in contrary with some of her haters. Yeah, indeed. If you truly look on her videos, if you go to her channel with an open mind, you will see that she is not racist, in contrary with some of the racists yelling YouTubers how did to harass her. No, not of that at all. But also, you have to remind yourself of this. Animals are systemically discriminated against. Sorry, I have to cut it out later. Yeah, but what I just saying, you have to sometimes look a little bit better before you believe somebody. If you look around, she is involved also in some other social justice issues, as he is against oppression. So, since animals are systematically oppressed, our system actually mocked enslavement and their torture. And yes, animals are enslaved. If they were not, then it will be free. They can do whatever they want. But those animals you eat, if you are not vegan, are in the most horrible possible conditions. Like, but not limited to conditions like this.
Workers in slaughterhouses and on mechanized farms are poorly paid, and their work often goes unmonitored. Many investigations.
This is where most of the chickens and goats live. This is how this is where that baker comes from. You think that's so fun to comment on their vegans their videos. If this is too hard for you to watch, I want you to be honest with yourself. If this is too hard for you to watch, why do you pay for it?
Cows never forget face or a place, and they have complex problem-solving skills. Cambridge University professor Donald Broom documented the fact that these gentle animals become excited and sometimes even jump into the air when they've figured out a solution to a problem. Cattle used for meat and milk are fed an unnatural diet to maximize growth and milk output that causes them to be constantly bloated and in pain.
Because it is all about the money. Grass-fed animals take produce more methane in their farts. I've also a video on that actually in my YouTube channel for the people that are interested in that. You know, concerns. Animals. Specifically, grass-fed beef or cow takes around something like 3 times the amount of land as uh, rain-fed cows and produce around 4 times the amount of CO2 in form of methane. So far more methane is produced and far more land is needed to feed the whole world or the people who on this moment eat animals. If we let's look to the statistics and see that around 45% of all the land of the earth is used for animal agriculture mainly, then we can easily see that animal agriculture grass feeds will be an ecological disaster and totally unsustainable. So, what about a vegan diet then? Now, just show you the studies in case you are interested. My videos are often very much good edited. I put a lot of time in those videos. So, about that vegan lawyer, vegan teacher. She is a very nice grandmother. She wants to truly help the world and become a better person. And I can see that the way she tried to make this world a better place. In her role as also coming from to be a teacher, she wants to educate people in becoming more civilized. In contrary with most of the channels I've seen about her critics, are often guys that don't show their face. And if they show their face, there are no arguments actually against her, except for that they like the taste. But since that's no excuse for raping people, I think it should not be an excuse for doing that to animals in the animal agriculture industry. For the people that are not aware on the rape in the animal agriculture industry, I suggest you check out the short documentary by Joey Carpstrom.
sounds like these farmers have a very distorted sense of what caring for animals actually means. This is just sodomy and molestation. Imagine what's going through their minds as they're being constrained and penetrated. These animals are vulnerable like children and must be left feeling violated and confused. In order for cows to produce milk, they have to be pregnant or have recently given birth. Dairy farmers like to control this process themselves. Cows will show they're on heat by standing to be mounted, and
A veterinary procedure.
some new farmer or vet will restrain the animal in a cattle crush. It's not comfortable for the cow to have an arm
This is
shoved
what
into
you
her near
support
shoulder
when you
deep.
eat meat
They
and
have to
egg,
be held down
Peter,
for safety
and all the other
reasons,
trolls
apparently.
that
One of the most
troll
disturbing parts of this whole process
that
is the
vegan
cow's
teacher.
age. We're talking about very young, vulnerable animals. How confused and scared they must be. With the help again of the popular Farmers Weekly magazine, here's a step-by-step process for the legally sanctioned sexual abuse of cows.
On the farm, our first choice for breeding our cows is artificial insemination, which is the veterinary procedure of placing semen into the uterus.
In other words, rape, since the animals are not consenting to be artificially inseminated. Just like literal children or mentally ill or mentally weak people. And since they're not consenting to it, we should protect them from predators. And we should actually buy vegan cheeses if you want to eat something at a similar taste. Not the things that come from the body of another mammal. You don't be a little baby calf. Little try cow on the internet. Different vegan cheeses you can try out. That is from ones from the Netherlands. Let's see. So even if you are living in the cheesehead Netherlands, you can still eat alternatives for cheese. So why are you not yet vegan? That's the question. Are you afraid that if you go vegan, that it's in some way damage your make the belief of wanting masculinity implants? Do you think it is tough to be callous and heartless? Newsflash for you. Nothing tough about abusing those who are utterly in your powers. You can make a chance. You can make a difference. How do you do that? Go vegan. Speak up. And I know a lot of you probably feel that I try to shame you. But I think you should be shamed for things that are not acceptable. If you have a dog or cat, I think you don't want that anything happens like that to your dog or cat that happened in the slaughterhouse, like I did show you a little bit before. I think you want that animals are safe and happy. So why do you pay for the abuse of one and love the other? Pigs, chickens, cows, they are wonderful and deserve respect just like you and me. I'm not a racist, I'm not speciesist, I'm the totally opposite. That's the reason I don't make any excuses for anybody. And if you only care about people, think about this. Any second of any day, a child starves from starvation. Not because there is enough food, not because there's not enough food on the planet, but it's because animal agriculture is terrible if you want to feed the world, because the animals are not vegetarians. Do you know what a vegetarian is? Libertarian is somebody who lives on air or claims to live on air. And if you don't believe me that there truly people are they think they're content with it, there are some weird people that believe you can live on air. But there's no scientific proof that you can live on sunshine and water. You need nutrients, and you can get them easily from plants. I have a whole list of nutrients and vitamins here right for you. Which nutrients do you want? What one do you think you get too little of? I guess give you a source for any nutrients and any vitamins you ever be afraid to lack. And it is all coming from plants, because that's where your animal flesh get it from. And I should stop saying your animal flesh, because it is their animal flesh. It is the flesh of an innocent living being. I don't want to be on your dinner plate. Animals don't want to be turned up into torturous places because they're crushed, because they're living literally too small conditions. Holocaust-like conditions. To people that are not aware, Holocaust is of the Greeks, and it means burnt offering. And in the Bible, it is more than once referred to as the sacrifice of a male hurt animal on the altar of God. If you want to know more about that, you can see my last video I have done on this. And I will probably put it later into the comments. But yeah. Stop harassing her. Stop harassing any vegan. Because vegans are not the problem here. Vegans are not the ones that pay others and slander others. Making a response video to people who are not vegan and encourage them or mock them in order to try to make them go vegan is not harassment. It is speaking up for systemic discriminated living beings that we refer to as animals. Living beings who want to be happy. Living beings who want to be free. Living beings who deserve their bodily integrity to be protected from certain people. They don't want to be food just as much as your dogs and cats don't want to be food. Just like your children don't want to be food. Please, people, awaken. How much times have I to debate people or make videos to people before they understand this basic truth? You want to have mercy? You want to have nice treatment? Start with yourself. Start by giving compassion and mercy to those who are totally in your power. And that's our land animals. That are the animals that we, or you, eat. Any year, there are more land animals killed than there live people on the planet. Up to 10 times. Up to 10 times more land animals are killed than there live people on the planet. And some of your trolls have the audacity to complain that you feel hurt. Do you know how pathetic that is? You know, it's not tough to systemic discriminate living beings just because they look different than you. That's the essence of bigotry and hatred. Deciding that somebody is not worth living, somebody is nothing more than a product to you, based on the way they look, is the essence of bigotry and hatred. People who think that animals are nothing more than products have to look at themselves more. You don't like that people hurt dogs and cats in China, but you eat animals that are basically the same or higher in intelligence. You are a hypocrite. You should very much look at your own ego. By the way, get a reality check. I think my live stream have said enough. Bye bye.